Good morning, my name is Reji Laberje. I'm with Reji Laberje Writing and Publishing, and I'm here to give you a quick tip on how to improve your writing. Today I'm going to tell you about seasonal writing and how we can use our characters, the things they're doing, saying, wearing, and so much more to put them into a specific season. So often when we are writing our characters into a specific time period, we like to immediately go to the weather. Oh, it had been raining for days and days, or the heat was sweltering that July, or I took a deep breath and inhaled that crisp air right into my nose, or boy, that snow was falling so gently on the grass outside. Now, don't get me wrong, these are all great things that you can write about, especially if you add some extra detail to them, but it's one thing. It's all about the weather. There are so many other ways that you can put your character into a season. Now, if you step it up as a writer, sometimes you go to the buds and the blossoms on the trees, or you go to the full bloom of summer and you talk specifically about some of the flowers that wouldn't be in bloom until, say, July. Then you might even talk about those crisp leaves crunching under your feet when you're talking about fall. Or you're going to look out at the trees and you're talking about the bare branches. This may be a step up, but you're still only talking about the foliage. There are still so many other ways. I've seen a lot of writers that go to the colors, the greens and the light yellows of springs, the reds, the blues, those vibrant colors of summer, the browns and oranges of fall, or of course gray in the winter. Or if you really want to get specific about it, people will go directly to the holidays. Mother's Day and Easter are going to put you in spring. Thanksgiving and Halloween are going to put you in fall. Christmas and New Year's in winter. And then of course you've got Independence Day in the summer. I'm going to tell you that even the writers that do all of these things are only doing about 50% of what you can do to put your character into a season. Because here are the other 4 things that you can use. You can use the clothing that your characters are wearing. You can use the food that they are eating, the activities that they are doing or going to or seeing, and you can use their environment. What do I mean by that? If I have my character throw on a poncho before he or she leaves, we know that we're in a rainy season, and the rainy season usually is going to mean spring. Mind you, I know as I'm giving you all of these, I'm speaking from a northern hemisphere, a western hemisphere kind of point of view. Some of these things with regard to food and clothing and activities might flip in different parts of the world. You'll have to do your research internationally to figure out if that's the case. In the summer, maybe my character is going to grab a light jacket in case it gets cool at night when they're hanging out on the beach. Maybe in the fall, they're going to put on that big bulky sweatshirt for the first time, or a sweater. Some of those nice heavy sweaters. You might also have a shawl, just something that's a little bit heavier. And then of course in the winter, you might even have one of those really big bulky coats. You might even talk about it being fur-lined. I went straight to coats because it's the easiest way to demonstrate that clothing can tell you your season, but you can use all sorts of different types of clothing besides these here. Another way that you can do it is your food. Spring is detox season. We're going to have salad. We're going to have berries. We're going to have all of those really light foods. As opposed to in summer, you're going to get to grill out. Oh, you're excited. You're on the beach. You're going to have burgers. You're going to have that charcoal smell. All of that is really good. You might even have fair foods if you're talking in the summer. In the fall, this is when you might want to talk, as opposed to saying, hey, Thanksgiving is coming, and you're talking down to your reader like they can't figure out that it's fall. What if they saw that the turkeys were on sale at the store? All of a sudden, you've put them into that season without saying the holiday. You're still talking about some of those heavier foods. You might have some of the soups. You might talk about a character who's starting school again, so they're going to have things like the fruit cups around, or they're going to have the lunch snacks. They're going to have sandwich things so that the kids can make their sandwiches for school. And then in the winter, this is when you're going to pull out the crock pot. This is when you're going to have all those comfort foods. You're going to maybe have your roasts in the winter. So all of these things, your foods and your drinks as well. Again, I'm just using a couple of examples, but your foods and your drinks are going to be able to put your character into a season. Activities. Let me go to sports just because it's easy, but again, just like with foods and clothing, there are a lot of different things that you can use that are activities that can place your character in a season. But in the summer, they're going to catch a baseball game for the first time. In the spring, excuse me. In the summer, they're going to go swimming. In the fall, they're going to catch that football game. And winter is for basketball. Again, sports are just one type of activity. The last thing that you can use to put your character into a season is their environment. And the environment can be internal environment, external environment, or a commercial environment. So internal, maybe in summer, they finally broke down and put on the AC versus in the winter, they're going to have the fireplace on. In the fall, let me come back to fall. I got to give that one a little bit of thought. But let's talk about your environment in the spring. What if I want to go to the external environment and we want to talk about the car wash getting backed up because people are washing that salt off after a long winter? And then in the fall, let's talk about the commercial environment. What if there are back to school products in all the stores? So these are just a few other ways besides the usual ones that allow you to tell your readers what season it is. How many of them are you using? I give tips like this in all of our write-ins. I hope you will come and check us out here at Reji Laberje Writing and Publishing. Have a great day and make some better words for a better world.